just what to say.
News Talk 640 WFNC. On camera right now, we've gone to our podcast right now on Facebook and on YouTube, and we have in studio with us. We'll give you the aerial view. There's everybody in studio up there at
All right.
they're doing their thing.
That's a nice camera.
We do what we can out here. We moved up in the company. We've got Georgeanna Pinckney, who's a good personal friend, and you're with the Greater Life of Fayetteville. You've been that way for a little bit. Move that microphone off a little bit because we want to see your face. We don't. There you go. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Good morning.
It is a good morning. And Nubian Holmes, is it last name?
Yes, sir.
We bring you up here as well, and you're specifically with Men of Purpose.
That's correct.
That's great, and you work with Georgiana.
Yes, sir.
And I'm bringing all three of us on the screen here right now because there's a program that you've got coming up, Georgiana, that you wanted to make sure everybody is aware of.
Yes.
What is it, and when is it going to take place?
It is this coming Saturday at the Country Club Church of God in Christ Fellowship Hall. It is titled Crime Prevention, Dining In Series, I Have a Chance, The Effects of Gun Violence. So we're inviting all family members who have been affected by gun violence and those who are interested in supporting those families and see what we can do to help keep guns out of our young people's hands.
You know, you bring up an interesting topic that I've had several people in here. Myra Gibbs, her son is up here. You know,
she's going to be at our event on Saturday as well. Yes.
Right, so she's coming back down. She was just here at the Dogwood Festival.
Yes.
And then Fawn Doherty, who's lost Genesis, his daughter, at the hands of gun violence as well.
Correct.
We've done the stories.
Yes.
Nubian, are you familiar with that story?
I'm not.
With her, she takes two daughters to the babysitter. Babysitter's son goes next door to the grandfather, gets a gun out the safe from the grandfather because he knew the combination, only because the grandfather apparently didn't change the store-bought combination, gets the gun, brings it back over, and that's where the story kind of changes. Mom says the gun was put up in the closet there, and it fell and hit Genesis. The investigator says there's no way that could have happened. Apparently, the 11-year-old killed Genesis.
Yeah.
So this is one of these crazy stories.
Yes.
A parent takes a child to a babysitter and goes and it's not the first time, and then comes back and there's this issue.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of meat on the table that you're going to be addressing. Talk about what folks who come can expect to hear.
Well, number one, expect to hear from others, to hear how it affected the families, how it affected the children, and the overall, even the financial status of the families as well, the relationships. So many things are involved, and we want people to hear from the young people as well, not just only the adults, but the children. And it was amazing that Maya and I were talking and getting ready to connect with the gentleman, wanting him to be there as well on Monday. And this is only part one. Part two would take place on June 27th.
Now, when you say gentleman, are you talking about Fawn Doherty?
Yes.
Yes, you know, Fawn now is a trained crisis and grief educator.
Wow.
Yes.
And so he just like most parents, like Myra. Myra was just here with the Dogwood Festival, and they had a booth set up for kids to come and make sure they don't forget Zion.
Exactly.
That's so awesome.
The son.
Yeah. Yes.
You familiar with Zion's story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is. And for folks who are not, you're talking about a young man who was in his house eating cheese fries and playing the video game.
Yes.
Someone comes down the street and starts shooting. It's a drive-by.
A drive-by.
Bullet goes into the window of their house, shoots him in the face, and he dies 3 days later at the hospital.
Yes.
And so both these parents are not letting these deaths be in vain, and they've come up with ways to be a little bit more proactive if they can in terms of making sure people who have guns at least secure them successfully. No one's talking about taking away guns. That's not what this is. It's about making sure that folks who have them.
Preventive measures.
Right. I guess some of that you're going to be talking about on Saturday.
Exactly. And many other organizations in reference to gun safety will be there as well. So we're looking forward for a great turnout, great conversation, and not just a conversation, putting things into action. Because a lot of folks may have great ideas, but they don't know how to go about it. And Greater Life and Men of Purpose, we're here to help them put that in action. That's not the words. I'm getting kind of compassionate about it because my great nephew, he lost his mother at the age of 3, all because of a gentleman that did not like some guy that was in the crowd with them. And they were just all hanging out. And he shot in the crowd to kill him, but got her in the head and another young lady. And he lost his mother at the age of 3.
Well,
So,
those stories, everybody
Yeah.
has those kind of stories
Exactly.
and everything. Nubian, your organization, Men with Purpose, give us a little background and a little bit
Yes.
of information about what you do and what you've seen.
Well, our main charge is to be.
Hold that mic real close to you.
Our main charge is to stand in the gap. So for too long, men, especially men of ethnicity, men of melanin, have depended too heavily on others to do what we should have already been doing. You know, we have programs in place for women. There are programs in place for children. And if you know anything about these programs, they unfortunately come with a caveat that usually says, we will help you, woman, we will help you, child, but there needs to be a separation from the man, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is there's this built-in resentment between that woman, between that man and that child, because that man is not there. Now, whether it's not just because of the government. Let's make sure we say that, but it's because of the inability or the unwillingness of the man to do what they're supposed to do in the neighborhood. So we do things like pick up paper. We do things like show up at events where the young queens are viewing movies. We do things like dances for not only our young men, but for our young women. We do things like tell kids it's okay to say, I love you to one another. It's okay for men to say, I love you to one another. It's okay to open doors. It's okay to tell a woman she looks nice with no ulterior motive. And we have a conversation, barbershop style, every other Tuesday. We have one coming up this Tuesday. And we have segments like mental health, behavioral health, relationship series to not only teach us how to interact with our women and our children, but how to interact with one another so that there's not this negative connotation associated with being a man.
Well, you make a good point, and you say it's not this, up to the kids and things like that. The problem is, we can be as truthful as we can. You talk about people with melanin. We're talking about black men.
That's correct.
And so we don't want to disguise what we're talking about. It's unfortunate that the way the system was set up, it was set up for women to have kids and not have the man in the household.
That's
and the more
absolutely
kids you have, the more kids you have, the more money you'll get.
That's correct.
But the man can't come in the household.
Amen.
And so if you want to break a people, you break the family.
Yeah.
And that's
You got it.
that's basically what has happened. During the course of segregation throughout this country, and it was designed to break
designed
up
that
the
way.
black family. And so it's organizations like yours, Men with Purpose, trying to give kids and let them know that that's not how it's supposed to be.
right.
Not at all.
Now, you have me, and I hate to talk about myself in the third person, but you have Gilbert Bays here because my father raised 5 boys. So I know what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
I know what it is to take care of a family. I have done that all my life. And so you don't have to train me. But Nubian, what you're talking about is training kids who don't have an idea or an inkling of what it's like to be a responsible parent.
That's 100% correct.
And so, I'm not going to write a book on it here, but you live it and you talk about this all
Yes,
the
sir.
time.
And we're about it. We show up. We make sure that our presence is in the community. It's visible and we're approachable. We have all types of programs. We have a men's center for reentry that we just built, and we're working with the city and the government to get opened. We have all types of programs for housing, for education. Most of us are peer support specialists, myself included. The leader of our group, my cousin, Mr. Kim Burrow, he and I have both come into this line of work because, as you said, as in relation to the gun violence, there are so many stories and so many households that resonate and that are similar. And we wanted to turn our tragic experiences into something that can be super positive and super beneficial to our community.
All right, well, look, we could talk for an hour. Kirk Deviere is already here. It's his term to come up. He is the chairman of the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners. And Georgeanna, we talked yesterday, and I said, hey, we got an opening. This thing is happening Saturday, so I wanted to make sure we got you in here.
Sir.
But there's enough information for us to talk about this again.
Yes.
And Nubian, I want to make sure we get you back in here to talk
Absolutely.
specifically about your program and events that you have coming up, so
Absolutely.
folks in the community will be aware.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, time is up. We got to give you both the booth. That's the story about it. Now, look, don't go anywhere because I'll take a picture of you real quick. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got local news right now with CBS 17.
Good morning. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young. A Fort Bragg soldier accused of using classified information to win more than $400,000 on a prediction market will appear in a New York federal court today. Prosecutors say Master Sergeant Gannon Van Dyke placed $33,000 in wagers ahead of the January capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Van Dyke is a special operations soldier based at Fort Bragg, but the case has been moved to New York City, where the company behind the prediction market is based. He's currently free on bond. Fayetteville State University making mental health care more accessible for students. They're cutting the ribbon on their brand new Spalding building. It's a $1.3 million newly renovated building that will house the Center for Counseling and Accessibility Services. It will feature 24/7 crisis support, a recovery program space, and more. There's an upcoming virtual hiring event specifically for military spouses. It's next week. It's being put on by Recruit Military and Disabled American Veterans from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesday, May 5th. Right now, there are 40 businesses signed up to take part, though that number will likely increase to 50 by next week. You are asked to register in advance. I have a link to do so. Head to CBS17.com, click the news tab, and scroll over to Job Alert. There is a very happy man in Robinson County this morning. Christopher Patterson from Pembroke won $1 million on a scratch-off lotto ticket. He bought the $10 Jumbo Bucks ticket at Alex's Mini Mart in NC 72 West in Pembroke. He took the lump sum, which after taxes comes out to $432,000. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Today will be partly cloudy with a few spotty showers and a high of 75. Overnight will be partly cloudy with a low of 59, and Wednesday will be mostly cloudy with rain and thunderstorms and a high of 78. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather on Wednesday, with damaging winds being the main threat. Additionally, we'll get some much needed rain out of this system, but